Been a little while. How we doing? I haven't had a break in such a long time. Didn't even feel like a break. I'm just kind of getting stuff together. I haven't done the initial neatening up in a little while, have I? It takes constant vigilance to keep this place from being more of a complete mess. This is like the deep part of the mix. Kind of like it. This is Metronomic Live. Anybody wondering what the background music is? Why my background music isn't just dinky video game music. Fat and on sub for 34 months. Oh, hell yeah. I don't think Flatulent Gunad is here, but I gotta tell him that Floppy Droid posted his bot posted something on my channel, and I gotta put the kibosh on that. Fat and on, thank you so much for the sub. 34 months. Metronomic Live, everybody. If you're interested in the music. All right, let's calibrate some cameras here if I remember what I'm doing. This camera's got to come with me. What are you doing over here? It's all folded up. What is this? Like this. And over here. Plug this back in. God, this is all twisted up. I don't remember how I put it away. Actually, the cables are kind of nice right now. Plug the thermals back in. Tighten up the mount. Get this thing up and over. And we gotta calibrate it. Yeah, sorry. Did that do anything? It didn't appear to do anything. Well, I'll just take a try or two. Here we go. There we go. This light over here. Oh, it's been a little while. It's been a little while, huh? It was a good break. Let's see. I mean, we're not gonna need it right now, but I'll still do this one. You guys just have to promise not to get my address off of my insulin prescription over there. That didn't appear to do it fully. I think the Node Red stuff needs to be timed a little bit differently because it seems to be, no, I guess that did work. All right. Wait, that's arm focus. There we go. There we go. I'm back. I'm back, and I'm not playing video games. How about that? Well, 12 of my viewers in existence. Man, oh man, taking a vacation. Nothing more detrimental to the numbers on a stream. Now, I'm not, I'd like to say, hold on, one cough. I had something with a little bit of bread for lunch, so it's like, hey, by the way, uvula, I'm a piece of bread. And I'm like, oh, and just start coughing. Anyway, I'd like to say I'm totally impervious to looking at numbers and concerning myself with numbers, but it's like a metric of the health of the channel, right? So I like to have viewers. I like having them. Now keep in mind, if I dropped to like no viewers, I'm still gonna stream exactly the same as I do anyway. I just won't have the constant interaction. I'll just be in my own world doing projects. It's less distracting. So, you know, you got to be able to do that as a streamer, but I did appreciate having like 90 people here. So we'll see how that goes in the next couple streams. But it is something that I think about too much, but that's streaming for you. You know, that's how it works. I still have to deploy this thing, little battery holder, or sorry, power supply holder for these GVM lights. I have a couple of them already installed. It's just there's a couple that still lack them. One that still lacks it. It's the face cam. It's that one right there. All right, let's see here. Can I get my shit together so that we can actually have a stream today? I think so. We got a lot of stuff to look at and go over and disassemble. Good thing is now 90 people know you exist and may come back. No, I mean I was hitting those numbers pretty regularly. I was doing pretty good. at least 75. I've been kind of middling around 75. But it'd be nice to get more people in, and I think the only way that I can do that is by starting up a VOD channel on YouTube's. But then also, like, you know, we're back to the original here. We're back to doing projects, so that should help. That should help. I got to do a little bit of gaming. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that, and I don't care if you guys are here or not. I'm still gonna be doing this stuff. It has been bugging me not working on projects. I did it intentionally. I intentionally did not work on anything because I wanted to hit the big reset button in the sky, you know? A full-time MSC streamer. I got nothing on those guys. Look, one of the things, the only way that I could look those full-time My Summer Car streamers in the eye, because, like, you know, Tomato was like, if you get your car inspected, that's like the big deal, right? And I did that, but I don't think that's enough to be one of these full-time MSC streamers. Those guys are nuts. I think, what is it, Gonad, Flatulent Gonad built the Satsuma on top of Timo's shop or something. Like, I would love to do something crazy like that. And the thing that I came up with was actually taking all of the Satsuma stuff, the 10K miles achievement. That's a tough one, man. That's like Long Drive and My Summer Car combined. My challenge, if I were to do something that would put me in that regard, my challenge, I think, would be to, I do want to do the rally. That's what I'm gearing up for right now. But what I'd like to do is actually build the Satsuma on the island. I think that would be hilarious. I don't know how to get the stuff to the island. That's the only, getting the frame to the island is the only thing that I would not be able to do, that I wouldn't really fathom. Let's try to, the camera's like all messed up. I think it's smudged. Hold on. I think I smudged it. Someone already did it. Of course they did. I think Gonad was saying somebody on the Steam forums. Sorry about the visuals right now. You guys get to see my horker mouth. This thing is a glass lens. I can see little bits of dust inside of it, though. What the fuck? You got a smudge on your face, chat. I had to unsmudge you. It still looks a little smudgy, doesn't it? Still looks a little smudged. Hold on. We're gonna get cleaning chemicals involved. Yeah, now you guys are clean. Clean up the chat camera too. Chat camera's getting a bath off screen. Nice and clean. There you go. Little Windex. This working? Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, it's a little washed out because of all the overhead lights, but that's a little better. That looks about right. Yeah, people were linking me to like the apps where you could like save all of the settings for the cameras, but like I've got all the settings saved. They're in Node-RED, and they get put into the camera during a procedure. What actually renders in, it actually gets the drivers working. There's like a bug in the drivers, and they need to be kind of like snapped into functionality. So that's what the procedure does to all the cameras. I have liquids. Hold on, I think I have seltzer. Seltzer! Bubbly water. Tastes like radio static. I read that smokers really like seltzer because it gives you that throat burning feeling that smoking did. I never smoked, so I don't know why I drink this stuff. Probably because diet drinks are tough to come by. doesn't even burn my throat. I don't get it. My brother gave me this set of tweezers. I don't know if I'll ever find them useful. Maybe. They're a little specialized, though. Could be fun. What else? Yeah, so the other day I showed you guys the Twitch swag bag. Yeah, it does. It's more of like a grooming set of tweezers, not like a functional set of tweezers. You're right. I don't know if you guys saw it in proper light, but some of the Twitch swag that they sent me. Look at this stuff. And I showed you guys the water bottle. I think that's still kicking around, right? Where is that? Right here? Water bottle's pretty cool. It's still hard to see. Like, it's hard for me to show in any sort of light. It smells funky inside of this thing. I really need to wash it out. No, it actually came in an interesting. Actually came in some pretty decent packaging. Everything is Twitch themed. So like the box for it has these reflective, shiny partner markings. That's just the song getting quiet. And then inside, it says partner a whole bunch. And then inside of there, damn it. Hold on. Inside, it's got a little. It has the box for the Connect 4. It has an iridescent partner thing on it. It says partner a bunch. It says Twitch. You think they're kind of like doubling down? God, it's like the inside of a sport coat. Tungsten sputtering? What are you talking about? I have a Twitch backpack. Hey, that's kind of cool. Yeah, you got to get the partner water bottle. All you got to do is get 75. I've asked people, how'd you get the purple check mark by your name? Like, you get 75 concurrent viewers for a month. Sign up as partner, then randomly get an email for a year-end swag thing, and you can get all kinds of random goodies. I know. Look at this stuff, Big Wave. I think the water bottle's the best part, though. This is the only thing that I'd ever use. But they also gave me these enamel pins. Yeah, these are socks that I can't even wear because I'm fucking diabetic as all shit. And I gotta wear compression socks so my feet don't inflate. I'm like permanently wearing compression socks. Actually, if you sit at a desk all day, you should probably also be wearing compression socks. They're they do wonders. But yeah, so I can't even, I mean, I could wear these over the compression socks. Or I could put a bunch of pennies in these and smack people at Twitch cons, right? Anyway, they also sent a bunch of enamel pins. Happy New Year to you too, Big Wave. Were you, I thought I saw you during some of the My Summer Car streams that I did. Some of the weirdo gaming streams. Weren't you in there? Anyway, Happy New Year, man. Good to see you here. Are those Pogs? Yeah, I didn't get, if I got a Pog champ like the original, I would be so freaking happy. That would be hilarious. I mean, the guy sucks, right? But it would be hilarious to get an old Pog instead of the stupid Pog lizard that everybody voted in. There's 2 versions of this, too. I don't know if they fixed that by now, but there was like a low quality original and then the high quality that they replaced Pog with. Oh, listen, OG Pog was better, but the guy who was that Pog sucks. So it's an understandable thing that they did. I don't vilify, you know, Twitch at all for doing that. It just kind of sucks. It just kind of sucks that I don't know if I like the lizard. I guess it's all right. It'll grow on us like a lizard. I could wear a check mark on my coat and be like, listen, you don't just get one of these for free. Yeah, separate prog rock. Separating the Pog from the person. That's what I mean, everybody does, but at the same time, whatever. It's whatever, you know? Bars of soap holders. The socks? Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Go to a TwitchCon and get a glitch-shaped bar of soap and put it in a sock and start hitting people with it. Perfect. Yeah, but they sent me a bunch of enamel pins, and I don't have a cork board I can put these on, and I don't really use enamel pins. I have a leather backpack. I'm not about to start using them. I can put it on the strap for the backpack, but that would be it's kind of lame. So I don't think I'd do anything with that. Flog the subs. Cufflinks. Twitch partner, by the way. So this is a Wendy's. Yeah, anyway, so these are kind of cool. And then the final thing that they got me, which was in that bag, was a giant Connect 4 set. And I think this may lead us to a project. If it'll open up. Ah! Jesus Christ. This thing has tolerances on plexiglass construction here. There we go. They sent me this giant-ass Connect 4. Oh yeah, look at that build quality. Look at that build quality. I mean, it looks cool, right? You got your translucent chips, your little pog chips. Who doesn't like freebies? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, this is Connect 4, and what I kind of want to do is, like, I'll be purple because it's got the check mark, and you guys don't have check marks because you guys are fucking plebs. Make you guys these, and see if we can figure out how to automate dropping them into the slots. This is really bugging me now. I don't think this did this when I originally. Yeah, you guys are fucking plebs. You guys are filthy, unwashed plebeians. All of you. Chat will beat you. You mean in Connect 4 or just in general? Because I got the socks. I'm gonna put soap in the socks. Yeah, maybe 3D printing. I don't know. It would be cool if it was more of an actuated arm that would just like come out to the slot and then drop it in. You could do it much more easily with just channels and solenoids. But that's something that I want to think about in 2022. We need to work on burn the subs. That's what we're going to do today. But this Twitch went through the trouble of sending me a laser etched Connect 4, and I think it would be cool if we finally got into some of the like on-screen application stuff so that you guys could either spend channel points or just vote for whatever move is the next move. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, column 1 through 7, or column 0 through 6, and then have like something visually interesting. Extend, drop the chip, come back. Visually interesting is an important thing. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, people were talking about the 3D printer laser etching attachments, and I think there's a lot of cool stuff to be had in there. This thing needs feet. If I drag this around on the table surface, it's going to scratch this lower piece. Let me put feet on this real quick, because I have an abundance of feet and not a whole lot of sense. I just don't want this thing to get overly scratched while we're inventing on it. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of 3D printing with that project. Collector of feet. 3 mares, 40 months. Holy crap. Holy crap. Wait, can you already sub? Maybe you gifted a sub. I can't keep track of anything anymore. I pivoted into game streaming. Lost everybody. Take a vacation, start streaming games, and everybody leaves. I don't have viewers anymore. What have you done to me? Okay, let's put some feet on this thing. This is a cool song. This is Metronomic Live. This is another partnered streamer. I don't know if that partnered streamer got the swag pack. These should probably be inset a little bit more. We'll put them in like this. Maybe like an inch from each. Inset a little bit so they don't show completely when you put this thing up on the feet. This is like old school. This is like trance era techno. I don't have a lot of opportunities to put feet on the bottom of things, so. Yeah, Metronomic Live, check him out if you guys get a chance. He mixes cool music for us to listen to. All right, let's see here. I'll just pop that thing over there. We'll do a little disassembly of, oh, that's so much better. Holy crap. That is so much better. Oh, yeah, a good application of rubberized feet is like, oh, it's one of those little satisfying things. It's like peeling off the protector on a material. I don't like that question. Anyway, Metronomic Live. Check them out. You like the mix? There you go. Yeah, friction achieved. That means the thing won't move all over the place. All right. We're back, everybody. Yeah, until the one... I know. Why you gotta be so negative, though? I don't have Chatty running. Chatterino, rather. There we go. You guys don't get a highlighted. It's not bright, but anything that comes through now will be up there at least. Ooh. Yeah. So we did some My Summer Car. We did a little bit of Tin Can, which was fun. And then we did Mon Bazu, which I don't think is as fun as My Summer Car, but it's got potential. I think if the developer dedicates a little bit of time and effort into it. The only thing that I was disappointed with Mon Bazu, aside from the smallness of the map, now there are updates, basically every complaint that I have is probably gonna get corrected with Mon Bazu. But the one complaint that I had was that you're not really assembling the car. That was sort of the awesome appeal of My Summer Car to me, even though that stage of the game is gone at this point, right? So that stage of the game, just because I built it already, there's not a whole lot of car assembly, although replacing the suspension felt a lot like replacing the suspension in a real car. You're like, wait a minute, which bolt does this need to go? All right, I need to move this and that and the other thing, and then pop it out, and oh my God, it's, yeah, that kind of thing felt a lot like proper wrenching, shade tree mechanicking in My Summer Car. In Mon Bazu, you put on a wheel and a valve cover and you're done. And even on that era of BMW, you don't just put on a valve cover. You actually need to put a little bit of sealant on the back and some other select places, if I recall correctly, in order to get that valve cover on. 5 months. X-Blast NL, thank you for the sub. I appreciate the 4-month streak with a 5-month sub. That's awesome. More depth in Mon Bazu than just wheels. I know. You have to keep up relationships and stuff like that, but I'm in it for the mechanic stuff. I'm in it for the car stuff. But the dev is still around. I saw the dev in a Flatulent Gonad stream, so as long as they're still working on the game, my criticisms are neither here nor there. This isn't the gaming channel I signed up for. Oh my God. How fucking dare he? This 18650 won't fit in my charger. What the fuck? Where did this come from? It's got this big... It has no brand name on it whatsoever. This is like an 18650, but it's got like 2 protection circuits on it. It's huge. Different diffs, different engines, rotors, and transmissions. All right. Well, I didn't really get into that when I was playing it. Whatever jig they're using to cut the plexiglass needs a little bit of a... It needs a little retooling. We need like a millimeter. Maybe half a millimeter. Yeah, it's not a rip fire. Trust fire and rip fire. You can trust them to rip fire all over your shop. I actually have a lot of trust fires and rip fires in my battery drawer, though. I know, like they need to care. This is free swag from Twitch. Still, there's a certain decorum. Maybe I can put some tape on one side of it or something. Well, I mean, they went to the trouble of sending me an entire Connect 4. So, get off my back, Connect 4. My friend and I in college used to joke. It was like, Mom's dead, Connect 4. Like, I don't know. We were just stupid back then. It was the early 2000s, whatever. Humor was different. I do have plexiglass. I could probably shave off a little shim for it. But, yeah. But yeah, what I'd like to do eventually is automate this so that I can still put a chip in there, but so that you guys can also deploy a chip. And I want something small. I want something that, like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd load a rack from the bottom up, because that would be more visually interesting. The way to get all of it on camera at once would be to have something that clips to the side and has an arm that comes out. And it wouldn't have to be much. It could just be a little roller channel that comes out and stops at the gate that it needs to go to. And then a chip, yoop, comes down and in. And then the thing retracts again. I would have to stick way out that way, though. That's the only problem. You played Guess Who instead of Connect 4. Okay. All right. That's not very relevant, but okay. But yeah, have it have the chips on like a conveyor, which we could probably easily make. I could do a stepper motor conveyor that just holds like a magazine of chips, and then it would advance one to the top, and then a solenoid would let go of it. It would roll down and into the gate and fall in. That might be the simplest way to do it. It would be just like a one motor advances it this way, one motor advances it this way. Doesn't need to always be a stepper motor. This could be just a simple DC motor that would come out and detect which one of these gates it's at. Is the etching off center? I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do it horizontally too. You could have like a spring fed, and then just have a solenoid kick it out of the magazine, and then it would fall in. That's one way to do it too, and it would have to go out that way. Or if you kick it out and it rotates it, that could work too. But I don't want to necessarily stack these on top of each other. It'd be more visually fun. Well, they're not going to fit if they're vertical, huh? Is that off center? I don't really look. Yeah, it is off center. Yeah, it's off to the right. It's off to the right. Here, wait a sec. We need to get the microscope all ready to go anyway. Oh, that's precarious. This thing needs to be calibrated on its own. Actually, it seems to be in pretty good shape right now. What's the color coordination like? Yeah, that's pretty good. Look at how off-center it is. Oh, and it's rasterized. Ah, so they are laser etched. You can see the laser line. So somebody's plexiglass shop is getting a pretty sweet deal off of this, but it is off-center. They need to rejig everything. I don't think they expected it to be under a microscope, but yeah, that one's off to the upper side too. Are they symmetrical? Yeah, it looks like the same X is the same X. I have a feeling that I wonder if they're doing this all in one. Like if they put the plexiglass into a jig and they do all the laser etching on one side, flip it over, does all the laser etching on the other side, and then they have the CNC machine that then cuts it out. So the jigs are going to be off by just a little bit. They could tweak and tune it, but I don't know if they care. Chat is really small in this view. Make it just a little bigger. I don't know if you guys can. I think you guys could probably read that. Thought it was an L. No, it's a check mark. It is, because it's Twitch partner swag. It's the most freaking, I don't know, man. I don't know what to call it. It's so pandery. Hold on, I gotta configure the microscope. Let me do that real quick. All the colors are washed out. Everything's super washed out. Properties, configure video. I gotta remember how to do all this stuff. Oh wow, everything was in auto. That almost got the color correction right. That's why we use the gray mats. Frame rate. Resolution. FPS 30. Okay. Properties. You can see all the stuff changing as I change the FPS, which is ridiculous. Configure video. Check all the sliders. Make sure everything's off. The gain all the way down. Turn it up until it looks good. 4300-ish K. Camera control. Good, good, good. No low light compensation. Click apply. Click OK. Now we go back to 60 and it'll forget everything. video. It just forgets it when you go back to 60 FPS. 4300K. That to there. Ooh. Ooh. There you go. It's a Waluigi token, yeah. There he is. Fingerprints and all. All right, there's a microscope cam. Looking good, looking good. But yeah, you can see the rasterized laser etching markings on these tokens that Twitch has for their little Connect 4, and I would like to eventually produce some kind of a, wow, that one is in bad. I didn't do that to this chip, Jesus. Well, they got them done quickly. Whew. Man, this one's in bad shape. Might have spilled something on it? I don't think I did. They probably rattled around in the little envelope that they were in and damaged each other pretty bad. Like, look at that, it's cracked. The lines are a little tighter, but they're there. Maybe not. Yeah, it looks like they tweaked up their process a little bit. Is it a factor of focus? Nope. Nope, this one is, yeah, it's a little deeper. It's a little better represented. I guess I don't know, they might have tweaked their process. I don't think that was intentional at all. I don't think so. Unless the partner edition Connect 4, sorry, the partner edition, yeah, Connect 4. Jesus Christ, I called it tic-tac-toe. The partner edition Connect 4, maybe that's special, and so they got all the partner chips done quickly. Maybe the other version of it, just the regular old Twitch version, has different chips. I don't know. Or maybe this is a partner-only thing. I don't know. All right. Woo. Let me put this thing aside, since we're not really working on it today. Although it would be kind of funny if I turned the burn the subs control box into this. I don't know. I got the film off of this stuff pretty easily. Wasn't that bad? It was a little difficult. There were some parts of it that were annoying. I did it on camera. I did it on camera. Camera. All right. Got some stuff to work on here. I'm gonna carry a bunch of stuff back to the bench. Take a look at what we got going on today. We'll leave the music for a minute while I get my shit together, as usual. Woo. How's it going, man? What's up, Mahalo? Okay. Get all the partner swag out of the way. Not that I have anything to do with it. I gotta continue to design the front panel for that rack mount computer. Cole J&Y Podotech subbed for the 9th month. Hey, that's awesome, dude. Thank you, Podotech. I really appreciate 9 months of loyalty to whatever the hell we're doing here. Because boy, oh boy, am I not organized. I had a little vacation for the first time in like 3-4 years, so that was cool. And the partner water bottle. I don't even know what to do with this thing. It's just in the way. I'll just put it back up there. I gotta put it through the washing machine. That's one thing, or the dishwasher. Because it smells funny. Back into the swing of things, guys. bottle of mead. No, I still need to brew that mead, by the way. I gotta get to that soon. Yeah, that's a soon kind of thing. We gotta do a boil with it. I could do a no boil mead, but I don't think so. And then I've gotta find sweet mead yeast and have it either shipped here or go to that local brew shop that I think is still open. I think it survived COVID. Yeah. Always looking for some comment. All right. I want to listen to the rest of this mix, but we've had it in like sporadic little chunks. Just because I use it as intro music so that I can double dip into the DMCA system. It allows me to play music without fear. It allows me to promote a channel that I love, but mostly it allows us to have some kind of audio going here before the stream. All right, anyway, volume down on Metronomic Live. Y'all should check out my stream starts soon. Is like right on top of them here. Metronomic Live. There you go. Go check them out. He does good music, man. Hi, hello, I'm back. We're back to brass tacks. I have used champagne yeast in the past, but my most recent brews were apple cider, and I used champagne yeast in it, and it's too dry. It's too dry. I need a slightly more sweetness into it. So I like my sweet mead yeast. The last brew that I did, the last mead that I did was using sweet mead yeast, and it really worked out nicely. It was a very good mead. It sat for about 7 to 8 months, but I didn't taste a difference. My wall tiles are all coming off, aren't they? Oh boy, it's been a while since I've been in here at the bench with this familiar view of mine. You guys don't even know. This is just like, for me, familiarity. Like I'm back to it. We're back to it. New year, new projects. Actually, same projects, new year. But we're gonna try to actually complete some stuff. I am back. It's been a little while, and I did a little bit of game streams, but now we're actually back to physically working on actual projects, and that might take us into the computer realm a little bit. We probably should do a little bit of a review of what we're working on. Burn the Subs 2.0. That thing behind me, 2.5. We got a lot of work to do on that. Part of where we left off is where, I mean, I guess all the physical stuff is in there, right? I would love to redo actual like cable connections, like the wires in it. I don't know how far I could even get into that. It's just some stuff isn't long enough to reach the control panel properly. I mean, it does reach the control panel right now, but only exactly as it's laid out. I think I may want to go to the D-sub connector route on that. Have a 25-pin D-sub connector, and then I've got a lot of pins, and I've got a lot of connections sitting right there that I can utilize, and those things can take up to 5 amps, so it'll be able to handle all of the equipment. I mean, what do you have? You have 4 lines per motor, so that's 8. The limit switches are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 4 switches and 1 supply line. Lasers 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 for the lights, and 21, 22 for the limit switches, the y-axis. And I think that's it. The only other thing that could be added to that would be like a fan or something like that, but that can connect at the circuit board at the actual laser diode. So that's pretty much an entire D-sub connector. So that may actually be what I do for the connection to and fro all of the control panel stuff. And that way, if I need to move the control panel, I just pop open the plug and that's it. I can move it. And that way I can clean out the reservoir and stuff like that. Now we've got a couple other things to go over in there, but that's burn the subs. Burn the subs, we need to do the control panel. We need to button that up so that it has a nice enclosure, because I don't know how long that thing's going to be up there. Like a year or two more. It'll give us more, area of the thing. And what we're getting into next, the software will also help me use a variety of different pieces of derelict wood on that project. So one of the things that I want to do is get into the software of Burn the Subs. And the Burn the Subs as it exists right now is a very specialized piece of equipment. It will remain that way for the near future. But getting into the software, I want to retool Burn the Subs to have one font size for people subscribing themselves to the channel, and then another font size for gift subs. So the gift subs will be in a single line Hershey font, or just the computer one-line machinist kind of font. And then subs will be in the bubble letter font. It's the same font style, but it's technically a different font. But they will be both as small as humanly possible. So the smallest bubble letter size, and maybe a couple sizes up from the smallest Hershey font, so that they kind of match a little bit. Not exactly. I want them to be a little smaller, but we're not gonna get that fill. We're not gonna get that fill. No, are you even listening to what I'm saying? That's literally what I just said, is that gifted subs will get the Hershey font, regular subs get the bubble font. Do you want me to hold your hand a little bit more? Because I literally just fucking explained it blatantly. All right, why are fart redemptions coming through here? I guess the filters undid themselves. Yeah, it literally undid all of the filter settings for my thing. No well, no, I do want follows. No drops. We don't do drops. Challenges, I don't know what the fuck those are. Boosts, no thank you. And then bits are okay on there, but what about, is that reward requests? Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, anyway. You don't have to re-explain it. Let me talk. You can upgrade your sub, and then the next month coming along, as you announce it, it'll come in a bubble line. You're not. I don't understand why you would think you'd be locked in to always having a single line font if you were gifted. If you keep getting gifted a sub, it'll still be in the single line font. All right, whatever. But anyway, so that's one thing that I have to do, and the way that we can do that is all we need to do is look at, well, we may need to add something to the database, right? Project 454, thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate it. No, what? Have you even been around this channel before? If you resub to the channel, you get your name on there again. The only time that I've ever gone back on that is with the names that are getting stored in the database right now. No, if you resubscribe to my channel, you get on the board just the same. Listen, think about it as like a transaction. Like if you spend money on the channel, you get your name on the board. That's it. Easy peasy, right? You spend money on the channel, name on the board. If you gift a sub, the giftee goes on the board. But if you sub to the channel, like Smith Clay here for 13 months, Project 454 was 7 months, Smith Clay's 13 months. Thank you. Hello, streamer dude. Hey, how you doing? I will take any font you offer. Yeah, and you'll get Avener, and that's all you're gonna get. That's the only font. But some of them will be one line, and some of them will be two line bubble style. The bubble style are for people like these people who come in with their primes and their regular subs. The single line font will be for people who are gifted a sub, right? It's not even a custom bother font. Avener is pretty popular. Anywho, so that's the font situation, right? And if you resubscribe to the channel, like the people who sub just now, you will get burnt again. So there's a lot of repeat names on the board. If you sub as a tier 1, you get burnt on the board. If you immediately then turn it into a tier 2, you get burnt on the board. If you then turn that into a tier 3, you get burnt on the board. That's 3 burns for you, just for upgrading your sub. Other than that, we have some things in the code. You can read it on GitHub if you want, that will keep people from kind of cheating the system. So, all right. So that's fonts. Let's shut the hell up about fonts now. In addition to fonts, what is this camera looking at? Yeah, you can see this is a live edge board. This is a live edge board, which means the surface area of this board, believe it or not, is not square. That not squareness of the board is kind of important because we will need to map the edge of the board in order to keep names from spilling over the edge. As fun as it would be to have just complete chaos and have names spill over the edge and stuff like that, I don't really want to do that. I would rather define the edge of the board for this one anyway. And so the way that I thought the best way for me to put that together in order to define the edge of the board is to be a gamer. Just be a gamer with it. I want to actually plug a controller into the Raspberry Pi and then use the analog sticks to move the X and the Y around, and then note positions along the way. So have the you have the window open. What's the cold cutoff? I'm talking about something else right now. What I want to do is I want to use a game controller, and I want to move a dim laser across the edge of the board. Maybe I can hold down a button to define a line, or maybe I can just push a button to put a dot on a PNG image. And that way, all of our calculations that are already in there. Retro CRT, hey, thank you so much for subbing. Retro CRT has triggered a hype train. Oh my God. That's 13 months too. Thank you very much. That's over a year. Oh my God. Okay, so game controller, move it around, define points, make a PNG. All that exists within all the little numbers and parameters that we, dear God, all the little numbers and parameters that we programmed into this guy. So what happens is all of those numbers and definitions and whatnots are already in here. And so it's measuring itself against itself, its own numbers. And that way, all of those numbers and stuff can stay accurate. We don't have to sit here and wonder about what numbers and conversions we have to do. The Zod gifted a sub to Why Not Because, saying let's go earlier. Hey, thank you, the Zod. Appreciate that. A line rider for the board edge. Yeah, that's basically it. So that's one thing that I want to do within the software of Burn the Subs in order to define the edge. Now that PNG image can come through, and then we can edit it and turn it into a mask. A masking file like we already have implemented in Burn the Subs. That area at the center of the board that said Twitch TV/OhBother, that was masked off. And so it had a PNG image that it would pull up on top of everything else, and it would shade out all of the areas that it would basically define black pixels in the area that it could not burn, and then it superimposed on top of that all of the images of the names. Groovy something for 36 months. Ah, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Groovy something. Hell yeah, dude. Man, it was tempting to. I just wanted to play my summer car today. But yeah, all the names that go onto that image, basically in memory, in the Raspberry Pi's memory, it'll pull up the masking image, and then it'll place all of the names that are already in there with like a font, like an actual computer font, and then it's got a single pixel, like a single 1 or a 0 black or white image, where it then tries to superimpose the new name and check pixel by pixel to see whether or not it actually collides with another name. There's a little blur operation that happens in there in order to create a bit of a masking area, although that might actually fail depending on the order of operations. We have to take a look at that. We'll have to take a look at that because we had some issues with names colliding in the old board. We don't know why. We don't know what caused it. In the masking image, no names were colliding. So we were either losing steps. I think we found the Y motor was bad at one point. I don't know if that fixed it once and for all because we had so much of a history of names going in the wrong place. So it's something to look at. It's the little bits of troubleshooting that you do. But that's one facet of it. Dewey subbing for 40 months. Thank you so much for the 47 months. Insert Groovy's message here. Groovy's message was the bother pet or scammed. Why didn't Twitch let me put a message in there? Oh, that's weird. Makotronics subbing for 40 months. Oh my God. Been a while. It's been a little bit, Mako. Oh yeah. I did a little bit of game streaming. Now I'm back. I'm back. How y'all doing? We're going over Burn the Subs and the stuff that we should be doing to it. There's just a couple little facets that I've been kind of trying to get through. We got a hype train going on right now. 100 bits from Fat and On. Thank you for the 100 bits. So yeah, the burn the subs. Couple little things. And we've been 3D printing hardware in order to make sure that everything goes on there nice and happy. Another 100 subs from Anonymous. Who the hell is that? I don't know that guy. Maybe I do. Okay, where was I? Hardware. D-sub connector. New enclosure. Less dusty. Able to take the whole thing off and wash it out in the sink because of all the gross stuff that's accumulated in the reservoir and stuff. New pump that's sitting on the desk behind me. What else? It's got to fit the original rails. Software. We need the fonts. 3 Mirrors, thank you for the 100 bits. Software. We need to lock down the font size. We need to add an entry to the database what involves whether or not the sub is gifted, which is easy enough to get out of the Twitch API. Let's see. We need to investigate the collision error, and maybe that's a factor of just locking down hardware. Other software stuff. I think that's it. I'm not going to decentralize burn the subs like I wanted to. I wanted to have Node-RED do all of the checking on the names and publish that to the device, and that way we could have the database exist on a different Raspberry Pi. I'm not going to do that. That would also enable me to have had the database going in the background, but oh Lord. That's literally every stream that gets suggested. Now that we really are back in the swing of things, huh? I am going to continue to move the camera manually on Burn the Subs 2.5. Burn the Subs 3 is the project what involves servo motors, 3-phase servo motors, and an automated camera. Then Burn the Subs 4 is going to take that to the extreme. Yeah, it's one of the most... You've unintentionally, you have unintentionally hit upon all of the things. How is the font size determined is one of the biggest questions, even though I literally said it. And then the other one is, why don't you automate the camera? You know, there's a lot of variations of that, but why don't you automate the camera? Now, we have strapped the camera to the axis. I got to get a haircut. I haven't gotten a haircut. I went on vacation. I didn't get a haircut. Anyway, so we need to. Okay, one of the big questions. Why can't you just? Yeah, the fart economics have been determined by the gurus at the fart exchange, and I don't think they're going to be changing the rates anytime soon. It's not me. I didn't set it. It wasn't me. Somebody else, is in charge of that. So blame them. I'm actually the person that set that, but I think 2 per stream is just fine because that's 108 farts currently. I don't want 108 farts. Anyway, so many lost farts and channel points there. But anyway, so yeah, the 2 major ones are how is the font size determined, and can you put an automated camera on it? And we did strap a camera to the axis at one point, and it was not great. I mean, I didn't mind it so much. It was a lot better than I thought it would be, but if you have a camera strapped to the axis is moving around to like put the font on, or like to burn the name, and I don't like that. So it requires its own axis, and that's what Burn the Subs 3 is about. Burn the Subs 2.5 is an emergency project that came up because the other Burn the Subs filled. And the fact that it's an emergency project doesn't mean that I'm not going to sit here and improve everything about it. I'm going to make it interesting and fun and important and special for you guys to sub. And actually, what the hell emote did I get? It looks like a shopping bag. What is that? It's a cow eating pizza? Oh my God, it's a hippopotamus eating pizza. Do you know how many people hippopotamus kill every year? Anyway. Jesus, that's a weird emote. Is it a cookie? I guess it makes a better cookie than it does a piece of pizza. I just got pizza on the brain. All right, anyway, so yeah, that's Burn the Subs. That's the stuff that we need to do. There's probably other stuff that's going to crop up as we work on things. A lot of 3D printing. But that's burn the subs. So that's one of the projects that I really want to get done. The other one that I really want to get done is, oh, it's not even visible here. I've got the case for the computer, the rack mount streaming computer right there. I need to figure out a front panel for that. So I need to design it in CAD. And if you guys watched the gaming streams, I showed a little bit of the Fusion 360 design that I've been coming up with. It took a little while for me to get all of the components that are there. Now that those are there, I can actually start designing around it and figure out how to 3D print a structure that's going to be the front panel of that computer. It's going to stick out quite a bit, but it'll have the reservoir, the water cooling reservoir on there, and it'll be able to kind of protect things, and I'll have a little piece of hex grid in one area where air is going to come in. So that'll be a water-cooled rack mount PC. I think that'll be pretty interesting and fun when it's finally done, and that giant hole in my rack over there could be actually fixed. It can be filled with stuff. And then my streaming setup will be a little bit more neat and organized. We'll have that rack sitting in the corner, and then I won't have the big NXDT case sitting in the way. And that's going to get the GTX 970 that I've already got in the streaming computer. Same motherboard, same hard drive, same everything. It'll have a hard drive caddy, which will be nice. I can just take the hard drive out. And then at some point, I'll have to start actually publishing YouTube videos so that we can get more viewers. That'll be nice. Let's actually publish a VOD channel. Maybe you guys can actually get caught up on projects without me. What other projects am I like screaming to get done? I don't know. Oh, the other one is the lavalier microphone. I'm not using my mixer yet. I'm using it when I do game streams, but that's not enough, right? I would like to post. Hold on, I'm gonna fix my mic. I would like to be able to use these microphones with the new mixer. I spent a lot of money on that thing, and it doesn't quite do the right kind of filtration in order to get good audio out of these mics. These mics need an equalizer as well as a pretty extensive compressor, complicated compressor on them that I can't quite do in analog electronics. We tried it the analog way, which would have been nice because analog electronics are kind of awesome. We tried to do analog, and we tried to get it to work with the amount of current that is provided by phantom power. Now, if we actually took the phantom power away from the mixing console, had its own little box with its own little power supply, we could provide it with much more current, and I could do the analog thing. But what I'd like to explore, if not just briefly, is to use a microcontroller to do it. A microcontroller or a tiny FPGA so that we get no delay. That's something that I'm interested in doing because I'm going to use that as a segue into making an analog synth. Analog synths are they're a rabbit hole. They're a rabbit hole of stuff, of knowledge, of money. Julian has been after me for nigh on 15 years now. It's, probably a little bit, maybe like a year after I knew him. He's been on my ass to make him a synthesizer. You build stuff with electronics, build me a synthesizer. That's been the story for an era. I want to finally do it now that I've got the outlet to do it in, where I can actually get encouraged to learn a completely new thing and have you guys come along the journey with me into the realm of dodgy analog synthesizer electronics. I think that'll be a fun thing to do. We need to make a VCO. We need to make some other voltage controlled effects. We need to make oscillator, blah, 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 blah. All that analog synth stuff we need to do. I bought a case that a friend of Julian's built. That's that thing right there for a Euro rack. It's got power running into it, but it doesn't have a power supply. So we'll need to find DC to DC converters that provide enough amps to power up all the units. We can then branch off into cooler stuff like loop processors and just weird things. We can make some weird stuff. And we can either do it in a completely dodgy way, or we can actually design circuit boards to do it for us. I don't know what direction I want to go in that, and it depends on where we get. But that's 2022. Like, that's a lot of stuff right there. I still also have all the small stuff in the background, and obviously on Saturdays, most Saturdays, I'm going to be playing games because I need a break in my week. I need a break in my week. I'm going to go insane if I have to deal with you guys all week. Okay, so anyway, that's me. I'm back. You guys, I hope, had a good holiday. I did. Yeah, today, obviously, Burn the Subs 2.0 control box. Let's take a look at this thing a little bit here. So we've got some stuff to take apart. I'm going insane. I only have to deal with myself. Well, I guess that's what I'm here for. Oh, there's dirt in these things. Okay, that was a scope probe. I did not need that to fall on the ground. Let me just get the D-sub connectors over here so that we can get everything kind of on the plate, on our plate. Let's see, that's maker beam stuff. I don't have anywhere to put things. All my surfaces are like completely taken up. Sid Hersey streams. He builds analog synth modules and even sells equipment at a store. No, but actually at the same time, one thing that Julian told me about was that people build these modules for people. Like, people will commission other people to build analog synth modules, which I find crazy because they're like little electronics projects. So if anybody wants to like commission somebody to build analog synth modules and they got a little bit of money to pay my rates, I'm thinking that would be a couple fun streams if somebody wanted to do that. Or if somebody just wants to send me analog synth modules and watch me build them, and then I keep them. But remember, my policy on sending me stuff is if you guys convince me in the PMs to give you my information, which is coveted in and of itself, and you send me something, it is tantamount to throwing it away, right? God, it's so much easier to get into this section of the shop now that I've moved my desk. Like, I can actually get into the project storage area, believe it or not. But yeah, if you send me stuff, if you guys have like a burning desire to send Oh Bother something, you are throwing it in the trash. You're paying UPS to throw it in the trash, right? Just know that. I don't want people to have expectations of me not breaking your hardware. And at the same time, please do not send me garbage. I had somebody send me like a plushy squirrel, and I don't know who sent that, and it's a little scary. All right, anyway, I'm looking for my D-sub connector collection because I've got a bin that's just like full of them. 25 pin ones. Actually, was that a different? No, it's not that bin. What did I do with the D-sub connectors, chat? Maybe they're in one of these drawers. Yeah, maybe that's where they ended up. No, that one doesn't even go in there. Maybe they're in one of these drawers. Yeah, here they are. Cool. Cool. Found them. St. Wiggly, how you doing, man? St. Wiggly subbing with Prime for 39 months. Guess what we're taking apart today? These things are going to be cool. I don't think we're going to design a circuit board, but in case we do, I'll just pull this thing out. We'll get one of these. Do I have... Wait, where's the male version? What the deuce? How do I just have... All right, I got to look around for the other end of this. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it ended up in a different bin because it has a housing around it. That's probably the case. So we'll just have that for visual example today. Nope, nothing. Yeah, I think what happened was I have two versions of those. One of them is the plug. The other one's the receptacle. And so I've just got the plugs, or the receptacles here, which don't require a housing. So the plugs have a housing, and I put them somewhere else with those housings. All right, let's see. So, what are we putting together here? Oh my God. This is going to be kind of extensive, isn't it? This one's covered in dirt. I'm going to put this one away. We'll get the one that fell on the floor. Let me go grab it. There's that. My probe. Probe. You stay there. All right. So a couple things that I'm thinking about here. So I've got this glass case that my brother gave me. My brother gave me this. It was a project that he tried to do. with Nixie tubes, and it's a Nixie clock that he tried to build. I don't know, Nixie clocks are kind of played out, right? And if you do a Nixie thing, you might as well have these tubes be shown in their entirety instead of set back in glass like this. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of this project. I want to get all the stuff out of here, because this is a fairly nice looking wooden box. It's a fairly nice looking wooden box, and it is about the width of the Burn the Subs hardware. So all things considered, I don't know if I can fit both the Raspberry Pi and the XY controller in here, but if I can, I very much would like to. I would like to fit all the electronics into this right here. Now that does not mean I would be fitting the buttons that start and stop Burn the Subs, but I want to change these buttons over. And it turns out, a friend of mine, may or may not be a saint, dropped off some of these button housings that were not to spec. They were not to spec for the equipment that his company uses, and so they were throwing these things out. And these are nice. I mean, I got a big emergency stop on it, which this is more akin to like something that like the milling machine. If I redid the milling machine, maybe I could utilize these things a little bit better. But I think if I want to do something with them, I better do something with them fast. And these would probably be very nice little accessories to Burn the Subs. So on the control panel, Trinova Labs, thank you for the 8 months. Hey, appreciate the primes, man. You guys subbing with primes. Prime does not remind you to resubscribe to your favorite Twitch channel. So having people come in here and sub with primes, it's very nice to see. It's nice to see. There's no reminders. You guys did a good job. You guys remember, you use your brain meat. I like regular subs just as much too. But yeah, anyway, so these stack up pretty nicely. I mean, maybe they stack up better like this. So if we do like a vertical glass and then we do this thing underneath it. I know that button. Yeah, dude, these are nice. Hey, Trinova Labs converted from Prime to a Tier 1. Hey, there you go. Hey, I gotta go through the list of all the subs and make a master list of who's gonna go up on the board first. Not that this isn't gonna take some time. Everything takes so much goddamn time around here. That's right. If you sub with a Prime, Jeff Bezos is sitting there and he checks his little Amazon thing. He has like a little Amazon thing that he opens up, and he opens it up. He's wearing his heart-shaped glasses, and he looks at it, and a little number ticks down by $5, and he goes, "No!" Because you guys are taking that money away from him. Because if you don't use your Prime, it just sits. It's just part of Amazon Prime. So if you use that Prime sub, you can support your favorite streamer on the back of Amazon's money. And I appreciate that. You guys are great for doing that. I'm glad you guys chose my channel of all the things you could have done. Yeah, but anyway, these little emergency stop and like movement buttons were something in a factory that weren't quite up to spec. So we're going to take this apart. We're going to take a look inside of it. It's probably just a couple buttons wired up to some wires. But this would be a good start and stop button for Burn the Subs. I mean, it's a little clunkier than these little clicky guys here. These kind of have a nice click to them. But it would be interesting to upgrade it to this because that gives us a little bit of room for other hardware. So we might use this as space for other hardware, or just to give it that big industrial feel. Plus, when I get caught in the mechanism, I can smack the emergency stop button and everything can power down. So, won't forget, well, now you're one of my favorite streams. Ah, thank you, Trinova Labs. I really appreciate that. I do. Doesn't that basically make Amazon Prime free in a sense? Prime $5 a month, never paid for that. I have no idea, man. Look, Prime is not cheap. Prime, but if you take advantage of Prime, which I do, just because I require parts in order to do projects, I'm constantly making these little orders of only a couple things at a time, right? And having the ability to get those quickly is important for this stream. That's why I use Prime. I don't like that when you order something with Amazon Prime, you're essentially setting forth a Rube Goldberg machine of human misery in order to get you your stuff on time. $12.99 per month. Yeah, $12 a month. That's what it is. But with it, you get a free Prime sub to a Twitch streamer of your choice, and I'm happy to receive those. I appreciate them very much. 130? Phew. Using the sub is like half of your money back? Huh. Yeah, anyway, so that's Prime. Man, I remember when Prime was a lot cheaper. So we've got a Nixie clock thing to take apart for the glass front. Now I could do touch buttons on the glass front, but I don't really want to do that. That's a little too finicky, and it blocks view of stuff in here. I don't know about the theatrics of this thing. I don't know if we'll be able to get a camera on the control board and get a good view of it. But indicator lights and things like that will need to be inside of this enclosure. Burn the Subs 3 is going to have a much larger control panel, so we won't be able to do this with it. D-sub connector. I've got 25 connections to bring all of the life in and out of the board. Oh, one thing that I did want to do, there's a microcontroller in here. There's an Arduino sitting in here. The Arduino sitting in here is monitoring the temperature of the two drivers and the Raspberry Pi? No, just the two drivers. Just monitoring it is just monitoring the temperature of these two drivers in order to turn on and off this pump, right? So my thoughts on that is that the Raspberry Pi should be able to handle that. We can make the thread that monitors whether or not it's connected to Twitch also check in periodically with the temperature sensors and the temperature of the Raspberry Pi itself to see if anything is out of whack and then turn the pump on. We can also set that to be on a schedule so that it'll turn the pump on periodically throughout the day in order to keep bubbles from forming from inactivity of the liquid. So them's my thoughts on all of the Burn the Subs improvements that we need to do over the next couple weeks. This is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, and it's kind of mounting. So what I'd like to do right now is let's get into this control, Eaton. Sorry, I'm looking at this upside down. It's no T. No T as in Eaton. Eaton controls. So this is probably really expensive, and we're just going to take it apart. I love industrial buttons, so we can go into a little bit of industrial button stuff. It's very interesting stuff. Yeah, and then we basically need to relocate all or most of this stuff and just figure out where the stuff is going to sit. And maybe get a new power supply. Nah, maybe we keep this power supply. It's not a bad power supply. Not a bad power supply. It's pretty good. Pretty good. But yeah, hooking all this stuff back up and making sure it all works again is going to be rough. Really, if you get the Student Prime, they limit how often you get the free Twitch sub. I guess you don't get sub streaks or something? Ready. This equipment just finds me, doesn't it? This is, by the way, this is for Burn the Subs 3.0, this power supply. So I don't know if we'll use it today, but this is a 24-volt power supply, and we can use 2 of these in order to provide the current for the big thing. Junkyard Tuning, go away ad. Yeah, those Twitch ads, man. They're really abrasive. I miss the days when people would sub to their favorite streamer just to support them, right? And the platform scraped a little bit of money off of that, and nobody had to watch advertisements all the damn time. Does Turbo actually get rid of ads? Because that's the rumor, right? That it gets rid of ads? All right, so what we got here is an industrial button thing. We got an industrial button panel, right? Meanwhile. Yeah, Meanwhile is good, bad. Yeah, sometimes you can only find them, you know, Meanwhile. Okay, so industrial buttons and stuff. These things are so modular and interesting. I hope we can get into it today because these are a lot of fun to work with. Now we've got the environmental seal on this thing. It's just like a little cup that presses all these little tongs or whatever they are into the cable and actually makes a little bit of an impression on it. It holds it in there. It keeps the environmental seal in. This stuff is like high grade, crazy industrial wire. I don't know who cut this, but man, they probably needed quite a cutter in order to get through this. This stuff is definitely not like flexible at all. But yeah, got a plastic enclosure. I don't know what this tongue is there for. Seems like maybe this is just for like putting it on something and maybe it just holds it in place. It's just an interestingly, it's a weird little bracket, huh? So, Eaton got banned in England after some minister read one upside down while he was touring some industrial site and said no tea. Yeah, there you go. No tea. Oh my God. What is wrong with them? All right, so let's get this thing apart. Big screwdriver. That's not going to be big enough. We need this guy over here. We need this one over here. This one will be a slightly larger. Plus, if I really need to. Oh no, I can't do that with this one. Huh? I can't do super high torque mode with this. With the other screwdriver that I had, you could put the extension through the back and use it as like a T handle. I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to use it like this. Then the logo's right side up. Then you got this here, so you can hang it off of the bracket. That makes a little bit more sense. All right, let's see if I got enough torque on these little handheld screwdrivers. Not bad. Some of these enclosures, you only have to move the screw like a couple degrees, and it'll come off. It's just like a little lock. Turbo does not go to the streamer. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty rough out there, right? I try to mute all the ads. I mean, it's just brain rot. It's just brain rot. I don't know. I can't stand it. Nothing advertised on Twitch is a service that I'll ever use. I don't care. You know, I get support from you guys. You guys are supporting me. And it's just scummy that they would intentionally alter the presentation that I'm putting up in order to make money without my consent. That should come apart, and it's not. This thing is a little bit more robust. There we go. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's water in it. Oh, there's stanky water in it. There's stanky water in it. Actually, it doesn't stink, but it looks like fairly clean rainwater, but bleh. Look at all the non-connections on this. All right. Well, gross. At least they're labeled. We got labels on all the connections, which is good. All right, let's undo a little bit of these. Don't bother St. Wiggly. He gave me these sight unseen. That is not working on that. Is that a hex or something? I don't know. It looks like a Phillips head, but it definitely has like a flathead presentation to it. Oh, that works. That works. That locks in. We're not going to bother figuring out what the circuit is on this thing. Basically, rest assured the switches are contact or no contact, and shit happens, and beepity bop, ones and zeros fly around, and everybody's happy. So, yeah, the weatherproofing. I don't think it was designed to be submerged, but man, there is a seal around this that clearly was not coming into effect. That has sat outside my house for months. Yeah. My name isn't spelled with an I. You should know this. Yeah, these got rained on. I'm going to guess that most of the water came from here instead of anywhere else. Ugh. Jeez. Get all this stuff undone, and then we got to dry it out. If I'm going to use these industrial switches and buttons and stuff, I'm going to need them to be dry. Generally, it shouldn't be too prone to rust. Although, jury's out on that one. So, look at all this stuff. Yeah, we'll take the buttons apart. We'll do a proper rust assessment. You don't like them? I love them. The industrial switches are awesome. I think they're great. Maybe you're the problem. All right, how do I undo this without... I can't get a wrench in there. It's like the best thing I got is the wire cutters. Yeah, they did put ferrules on the end. How the fuck? I guess you would need to have like a very thin wrench in order to undo these things. Yeah, a very thin wrench. Like a socket? Socket wouldn't do it. What is this for? Looks like you could put a thing on the back there. It's not smelly water. It's actually very clean water. I guess if I move the outer nut, the inner nut, yeah, should hopefully stay in place. All my car tools are in my car. And the car tools would be the ones that are this size. Actually, I do have an adjustable. Hold on. I gotta go all the way out to all the way across the shop. Get my mic cable. Get all the way over here. Get to the wrench. Get the wrench off without it falling and killing everybody. All right, there we go. It's on a magnet hanger across the shop. Adjustable hammer. Channel locks will chew it up and destroy it. Yeah, I don't want to use like vice grips or channel locks or anything. See, here's the problem is that they're both going to rotate. Oh, no, one of them caught. One of them caught something. Never thought I'd have to use you here, adjustable spanner. So we meet again. See, like, even just using this on it is like chewing up all the plastic. Swedish nut lathe, yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, all the rainwater infiltrated every single part of this thing. And I'm wondering if it got in through the wire or if it was just too much environmental exposure. Probably a little bit of both. I'm getting like sprayed with water as I do this. Okay. Ugh. I want to get these things off of here. It looks like they're... What the fuck? Hex. Hex bolts. Not that size. Larger. That's the ticket. Oh, God. That's not the ticket. We need more torque. All the torque the hex are getting off. What the fuck? Okay. Ugh. Jesus. What is this? Bruh. All right. That is on there. Holy shit. I don't know who assembled this crap, but that needs a wrench on the end. We'll use this guy again. This thing has little teats on the little teeths on the outside. The Italians. Is Eden Italian? Yaten? Or is that where the country of origin of these parts? All right, keep your secrets, stupid thing. Now we will take apart these industrial buttons. I think it's fairly interesting to show you guys the makeup of these industrial buttons because they're cool. They're very modular. Equipment was assembled by a vendor in Italy. Okay. Italian engineering. There's no more of an exciting way to be set on fire than by an Italian engine. Yeah, it may be American, but why is that tightening? Maybe American, but yeah. They assemble the whole machine. You get them in-house, and then you just cut these things off. Hey, those aren't quite the spec. Slice. That's awesome. So these are practically new, aside from the water damage. We'll take apart both of them, because I have a feeling the other one is also a bathtub. Come on. Give me the ding. Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is. The nut was put through the plastic and threaded itself. And then the bracket was put on, and then the bolt was put through the plastic and threaded itself, and then the nut onto the bolt. That's not a great way to achieve tightness. Okay, maybe not. That one just fell out. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe they just kind of poorly drilled the holes. Gimme. No, there's a little bit of a grip to the... Yeah, there's a little bit of a grip. Ow! My glasses! Just hit my face on my own camera. 15 hours of use. Hell yeah. Pfft. Yeah. An American company that moved to Dublin. I wonder why. Gee, funny that that's happening lately. I just scratched my arm with this. I've been taught that I should do this whenever I scratch my arms, just to get rid of all the scratch marks. All right, so bottom of the enclosure we got out, moderately dry. Now for all the buttons. We're gonna do this twice. The buttons. I'm gonna get a paper towel because I got a puddle of water on my desk now. Pinter tool. Let's clean up our mess. Actually, we should open up the other one before we get into the buttons. Let's open up the other one before we get into the buttons, just because I want them both to have some time to dry. I didn't know that they were housing water. I've had these for like a week. I've had them for a week and they've been stewing in their own juices. We got like the massive disassembly stream. I know, you warned me, I didn't listen. It's nothing personnel, kid. Open them up. I mean, these are industrial. They should be relatively, you know, they should be pretty good at surviving this kind of stuff. Kind of environmental infiltration, but I guess not. Oh, that one's going to be tough. This one has clearly seen a little bit of the garden. But that's fine. I don't know if I want to be repping Eaton on the outside of Burn the Subs, you know? No, no, none of that, please. Please, no. I got a tablet once that was filled with cat piss. If I get anything like that in the future, I'm immediately just throwing it out. Drilling the holes in the bottom of the box to let it drain. That's interesting. How's it going, Pyro? Oh, there's water on that screw. Yeah, we're gonna fully disassemble these because I need a little bit of a. I need this to dry out. If we're gonna use any of this stuff, we need to make sure that the contacts are clean and everything. All right, big reveal. Blech. The big payback. Less water in the actual enclosure than the other one. More water on the screws. This one actually might have. Hey, okay, there's a little bit of moisture inside. Just a little though. It smells like fertilizer. All right. It smells like fertilizer. Discord didn't show that I'm streaming, huh? I don't know why you guys rely on Discord to tell you that I'm streaming, because it hasn't. Every time I've streamed, people come in and tell me that it didn't do its job. I'm gonna make sure to screw these back in so that they don't go anywhere. May have hung out in the planter at the end of the driveway. Yeah, I can recognize the brand of fertilizer that you've been using. I know that smell. I know that smell. A little peaty. Little peaty is the name of my... Never mind. You guys don't need to know that. Discord is more reliable than Twitch notifications. It's just know my schedule. Not that hard. All right. So we use the big wrench on this guy. Loosen this up first. And then we loosen the big guy. We try to hold that still. There we go. That managed to work out. I don't know my own schedule. I can't remember yours. My schedule is not difficult. It's really very simple. And then my only problem with my schedule lately is that I haven't been keeping to it. I've been too late. I've been starting my streams late, but it's militant. I keep a militant schedule. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Eastern time, noonish, noon 30. Noon 35 is technically when I should start. Until usually around 5:30, but I like to go later. All right, damn, I wish I could rescue this wire, but it smells too much like my friend's planter. So this is garbage, this is garbage. I don't think I'm gonna keep these markers either. 161.1. Is that a radio station around here? Do I have reciprocating connections over here? That's 178. Yeah, 178. This is like 160 and 170. Like, these are nice little markers, but I don't have the corresponding marker, so it's kind of pointless. So yeah, those are all garbage. It's all garbage. Very well built garbage, but it's all garbage. Right, yeah, if you guys don't know, the whole thing about industrial electronics and these setups, these control cabinets and things like that, is that you have a lot of wire connections from place to place, and they're all going to be in a big diagram. And the way they do the big diagram is much like automotive wiring, where they have a top and a bottom where all the wire runs are coming in, and then they go down to a device. And that's actually a lot of how they build it, too. They have components sitting in there, and then they have a bunch of those wire organizers sitting around it, where the wire comes in and it goes straight down into the connection. That way, if something breaks, you turn off all of the power, remove the one component, put a new component in, all the wires are there to connect, boom, you're done, everything starts up again. A very quick way to keep things super duper 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 organized, right? All of the mess is in the wiring runs, and in order to manage those wiring runs, you simply give it a number designation from point to point. So 178.1 is the 1th circuit of structure I don't know how they organize it. 178 would typically, you'd find that in the drawing, and 178.1 would be one connection from a particular device to a particular device. So in this case, 167, is it 167? 161 is the circuit for one of the control boxes. That just dripped water on me. And the 178 would be the other control box. And so all of the individual connections within there would be marked off with a circuit designation, typically on both ends too, because I mean, what's the point? But yeah, anyway, so you know what connects where. If you unhook multiple things, you're like, what the hell? You open up the schematic and you look at it and you're like, 178.1 goes here, 168, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, cool stuff. A swimming pool of wires. That's not how it should be. They should be behind organizers. Uncoilers for steel fabrication is what these came from. Okay. I love playing around with industrial electronics. It's one of my favorite things. St. Wiggly is the one who actually knew of the machine shops that I went to where I got all of my machine equipment, including a lot of the industrial equipment that has gone into other projects around here. So, yeah. These good people. All right, so let's get the bracket off of the. Let's get the bracket off of this thing. Everything's drying out right now. Oh yeah, that's right. We got to do these first. These little guys first. I just pinched my finger on that. So you really put these at the end of the driveway. That's hilarious. I guess you expected me to come. No! Ah, that fell on the ground. I guess you expected me to come pick them up. Gonad! Oh, Gonad, by the way, keep Floppy Droid out of here. I saw Floppy Droid post a meow in my chat, and I've told other people, no bots in my chat. I will kill them. Just gotta let you know. Yeah, I appreciate it. We don't like bots in here because they'll get gifted a sub for a random gift sub. And other reasons. Yeah, I don't want other people's bots on my brand. My brand. Okay, yeah. It's fine. If I'm off air, it's all right. Sort of. I don't want to be a testing ground. Okay. That's disassembled. All right. So I got the two backings over there. Oh, and a spider. I wonder what kind of spider this is. We got a little buddy. Look at this little buddy in here. Well, you're getting evicted, spider babies. Gross. Which meme is that? I forget the memes. They've just become part of my personality at this point. Ugh. How could you? Well, like that. Oh, the my brand. Yeah. That's still good. That's still going strong, right? I'm not irrelevant. That's still going strong. Right? Oh no. All right, let's get the remainder of the wires off of these things. Part of this is just to dry off all the electronics. These have not, in their industrial life, they were not exposed to water, but in the transfer from person to person, these were exposed to a little bit of rain, which is not great for the electronics. So if we can break these down, we can dry them off and we can make sure there's no damage. That's a lot of damage. We'll see. I think they'll be okay. They're generally, I mean, these aren't really going to be considering water infiltration at all times, but they should be moderately guarded against that sort of stuff. Hopefully we could still use them. I guess I'm removing all of the... Why do they put the wires behind? What? Italians! What are you trying to pull here? Whoa, I almost shot that off onto the floor. All right. You gone. You gone. You not gone. You gone. Up. But that one's just stuck behind. Much like myself. All right. Get this thing out of here. Come on. Move that. Move this. Okay, that one just shot off. Okay. And then for some reason that one, oh, it did get ferrules. It gets these cute little ferrules that go directly on the wire. Huh. Coderushed, rating with a party of 26. How you doing, Coderushed? How you been? How you been? I'm just getting back from break. We're taking apart some industrial control stuff that St. Wiggily is left to my behest. I've been donated a bunch of industrial switches. We gotta take them apart, though. We got to take these apart. EU regulation designed to protect people from their own stupidity. Ferrules are a very EU thing. They're actually required. I don't think we use them in the US or have to. They're a decent idea, but they also limit the amount of electrical contact that you get out of a screw terminal because you don't have the strands crushing on the screw terminal itself. But they do keep you from having frayed wires make unintentional connections to stuff. Yeah, they're just nice to have. The only downside is that they don't crush as well as wires do in terminals, but that's not a huge deal a lot of the time. Let's clean up the desk. It looks like I've been gardening. Looks like I've been gardening. All the little bits of dirt falling from this thing. Coderushed, thank you for rating. I took a little hiatus. I've been playing video games, believe it or not. Can you believe that this platform allows you to play video games? It's a little weird. I don't know. A little cringy if you ask me. Can I have the dirt back? It may or may not have the same biome on it when I'm done. Not a bag of Milky Ways. Still on the fence about that. I think that guy is a bag of Milky Ways. I think it's safe to say at this point. But whoop whoop to you as well. Thank you for the prime. Anything donated is trash. That's right. We have policies in effect for this. No, you can't get the dirt back. My dirt! No! Oh, you bastard! You killed my dirt. Okay. Industrial switches. What are these things all about? Well, the whole purpose of anything industrial is that you get a whole lot of modularity in it, right? These things are incredibly modular. You can mix and match a lot of the different parts on these things. Now, there's generally like sort of a consensus about, you know, what does what. When you get a button, it's actually physically hitting all the different parts of the switch. So these buttons have normally closed and normally open actuators on them, and they're color-coded. So the red ones, in this case, are normally closed, and the connection is broken when you press the button. The normally open ones are obviously open, and when you press the button, they make a connection. With the emergency stop switch, when you disengage it, like it is right now, typically you will have normally closed connections that you're utilizing, although this one, in this case, this has a two normally closed and a normally open, but the normally closed in the middle is a different, it's a different like model. It's not printed the same way, so that when you hit the emergency stop, that is stuck. Huh, that one is stuck. Interesting. Well, we'll have to investigate that. That might need a little repair. But anyway, normally closed, that connection is closed, hit the emergency stop, and it opens and cuts off power to your device. Or in this case, you will have, like in a big piece of equipment, you will have something called a motor contactor, or just a contactor, which is something that when actuated is being held electromagnetically in a start position. The brew controller that I built has something like that. So you have a start button. When you hit it, it makes this big clunk noise, and that's that actuator sticking to the electromagnet and allowing power to pass through. You then will have a loop on there that when it gets broken, it will let go of the electromagnet and then cut off power to everything. And that way you can have a lower amount of current going to your emergency stop. So you're not running all, 600 amps through the emergency stop button, which is nigh on completely irresponsible. All right, so in order to get these buttons off, you can see it looks like they're not fastened in any way, shape, or form, nor are the fasteners even reachable from where we are. There are these little hooks up here, and my assumption on these little hooks is that these will disengage part of the switch and allow us to pull all of the different actuators off of the physical thing that moves the button forward or backwards. So let's see. Contact for the PLC. Okay. All right, whatever you guys have to say. I mean, this is just my introduction for everybody to industrial controls. So yeah, this goes forward, right? And then the whole thing just pivots off, and there we go. Here's our normally open, or sorry, normally closed and our normally open contacts. Now, why didn't that one? See, now it's actuated. That one was stuck before, and it didn't disengage when the button did. Interesting. We'll have to investigate that. There's still a little moisture in all this stuff. So yeah, it looks like it's pull and then just unhook. So pull and unhook. And there we have all the modular components to the switches that we can mix and match if we need to. So yeah, let's undo these. I don't have like a special wrench for these. They look like they take a particular socket. I don't have that socket. They got like a textured thing on there to hold them closed. So let's just see if we can get them to. Okay, hand tighten. Hey, I don't know if these should be hand tight. To be honest, if they're in an industrial scenario, we'll probably need to disassemble this a little bit more because I have a feeling water got in here. We'll figure that out in a minute. Owie, ow, 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 ow. Shut the fuck up. I know that you can undo these. I'm gonna go over that in a minute. You guys with your textbooks 5 pages ahead, there's a reason we go through this stuff slowly. I'm gonna come down hard on you backseaters. I have to assert dominance over my own fucking channel. It's nothing personnel, kid. All right, these markers I don't necessarily need. I would love to color code these, but I've only got one color of this specific brand of switch. If I want to, I mean, I could look through some of my other industrial stuff and see what I've got. But yeah, anyway. Everybody's flipping their textbook ahead. Call on me. All right, we may need to take these apart though. There's some gross stuff. Not gross stuff. There's just some rainwater in all of the individual parts. These are all plastic, but the springs I think will be the thing that might rust. So, Iconic Bear, assert your dominance on me. No, that's weird. You're making it weird. Don't make it weird. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for 29 months. E-stops are always normally closed, and hitting the brakes a circuit. That's what I said. Set of magnetic contacts on a I literally said that. All right. little bit of paper towel in there to get rid of some of the garden that infiltrated it. See, what I'm looking at with these things is the size of them. Now, I do wish that these weren't white, because that kind of clashes in the color scheme of things, but these are just about the same width as Burn the Subs, so we could use these as the button panels and then put all the stuff in the glass case, and then I'd have nice big play school sized buttons that I could hit. It wouldn't have the clunk of a magnetic contactor, but yeah, the advantage with the normally closed circuit is that you run current through it, and if it breaks in any way, shape, or form, it should open it up. But then safety systems, being what they are, probably also do as much as they can to keep not unintentional actuation, to keep the actuator from being not set up. Whatever. All right, hold on. I gotta figure out how to unseat. So each of these individual, and this is the thing that I was getting to before you guys just blurted out, these buttons typically will have a frame that attaches to the back of them that they physically actuate with some kind of a thing, right? So in this case, that seats, and when you push it in, it springs forward, right? You have a button that actuates an actual physical, like, thing that presses on the button itself. The button itself is actually somewhat standardized. These little rows of they look almost like DIN mountable rows of switches, but they clip in to a holder that attaches to the back of the button. And I've seen various different systems of this, be it metal or plastic. These are all plastic. They're kind of cheap, but the buttons themselves are typically all plastic as well, so it's probably fine. But there is a way to unseat these from the carrier, and that's what I'm looking at right now. There's some way, and I could either possibly put a screwdriver in there, and that might release it. I think that's what it is. I think I put a screwdriver in here, twist just a little bit, and it'll let go of the actual individual switching component. And then from there, we can look for the plastic snaps that hold this thing together, pull them apart, clean them out a little bit, because there's a little bit of water inside of these. So if I do this, and I just twist it a little bit, I don't want to snap anything. I don't want to break anything here. I mean, I don't think these loop all the way down and around. That would be crazy. That would make it impossible to undo this piece. What else do we have here? Let me just take a look real quick. I feel like these have to be two-piece, because otherwise they're not going to unhook from this, unless there's no... Oh, I see. Okay, so they are kind of a hook, but there's a hook piece. Nope, there's... Okay, that's... Wow, okay, that's a weird shape for it. All right. Bop. I got a little, just like a little hook shape there. And so that's going to grab onto the bottom of the frame and just hook this thing in place. And we can see little drops of water everywhere, so we got to be careful about that. All right, let's get these things apart. Just basically breaking everything down to its component parts. I will decide what we need later. Why are you beeping at me? Why are you beeping at me? Beep, beep, beep. What beep, beep, beep? Yeah, wow, your glucose level's great. Okay, why did that need a warning? All right, moving on. Moving on, moving on. How are these things held together? They are plastic welded. Damn it. So the only way that I'm going to get around water being inside of these things is that spring. The spring does not look like it has rust on it. So I think I can hit these with pressurized air and clean them out. But what I'm looking at is how these things are attached. And sometimes, yeah, it's like emergency, nothing's wrong. So sometimes these things snap together, but in the case of Eaton, which it's got an address on it, in the case of Eaton, or no T, if you flip it over, no T. Oh wow, what a bunch of assholes. Anyway, these are plastic welded together. So what happens is a bunch of pins stick out on the other side, and then they have either ultrasonic or just heat welded pieces come down on top of it, and that makes a little plastic rivet. So if we were to undo those plastic rivets and look at the internal mechanism at play here, we would actually not be able to put this thing back together. The ones in the past that I've messed with have had just little clasps, little plastic snaps that hold them together. And in that case, we would have been able to tear them all the way down to their component parts and then clean them out. In this case, I guess I can blast them with with pressurized air, and that'll clean it out probably to our liking. Hopefully to the point where they can handle an AC signal again. Absolutely, these would not ever re-enter the industrial sphere. These would never be trusted in an industrial application again, because they've been left outside for a little while. But they'll do just fine for us, that's for sure. All right, so let's break all the switches out, and we'll take a look at them. I'm gonna have a big handful of switches out of this thing. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be pretty good. All right, let's get the big screwdriver over here. I'm gonna break this one down. As I break these components down, I can start to figure out how they're gonna lay out in the burn the subs enclosure. We'll have to figure that one out because I got Raspberry Pi perforated prototyping boards that we could possibly use, or I could try maybe something else. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So when I was on vacation, I saw a DeLorean in somebody's front yard. And I mean yard. Like you know that if you show up and are like, man, how much for that DeLorean? They'd be like, I am not selling it. I'm gonna fix it up one day. I actually saw a couple different vehicles like that, a couple different really nice vehicles, and since it was out in the desert, they were in good shape, but then as you move towards the coast, they were in less and less good shape until finally they were just rusted out shells. They were like the cars that you can drag to Fleetari in my summer car. You're like, was a nice car, isn't a nice car anymore. Yeah, if the device is using little enough current, the best thing is to completely cut power with the e-stop. But there's some devices that use a lot of current and some that have very advanced e-stops where it'll do stuff like stop the spindle, power everything down. There's actually quite a bit of advanced stuff that goes behind emergency stopping a device, depending on what you're doing. Usually it's just best to cut power to everything, but yeah, I heard, isn't there an effort to bring back the DeLorean? I don't know, it doesn't have the cocaine in it though, and so that's kind of disappointing, isn't it? Like, I mean, if you want to bring back the DeLorean, you gotta bring back the DeLorean. You gotta put bags of cocaine into the body. Really? Horror stories from old electronics stored in attics in San Francisco, an Apple IIe completely green inside. What the hell? What are they doing to that poor thing? Oh god, it smells like planting soil. smells like ammonium nitrate and and peat moss. Smells like home. Oh yeah, Demi, you do a lot of gardening too. My buddy St. Wiggly put these in a planter in the front of his house for me to pick up, and I never did. So these smell like potting soil. Yeah, I know it well. I know the smell quite well. We also evicted a spider egg sack. Sorry, spiders. I don't want no, oh crap, I don't know, never mind. I don't want no media Pennsylvania spiders in my Berwyn, Pennsylvania lawn. All right. This is less water than you thought they would have. Oh god. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna free up all the buttons. We're gonna blast them with some pressurized air. That should knock out any of the water. And then these will be serviceable for my purposes at least. So yeah, just a simple, it's just a simple hook and lever kind of thing. You just kind of gotta like hook it open and then they'll fall off of the frame. Everything here is plastic and it's sealed, so I love how I've had like a month break. Not really a month, but it's close. Like 2 weeks of a break, and I'm still pushed all the way over to the side of the bench. Like all that stuff over there, I should be in the middle of the bench. I'm way over here at the side where it's starting to get in the way of my mouse. What is up with that? Always the functional area of the desk is like 4 inches right here. Man, I got a lot of these switch modules now. It's pretty nice. These things can somewhat be used almost universally. Somewhat, almost. There's a lot of qualifying words on that. It all depends on the design of the thing, but they're all moderately similar. This one even has a broken tab. Look at that. That's build qual. Oh, wait, no, this one's... wait a minute. Oh, it's a double module. I see. Never mind. No broken tabs here. No broken tabs here. No eavesdropping, sir. So this is a double module. Interesting. Oh, and it's got little indexing pins and water between it. Yeah, this is a double module, so it's got a normally open and a normally closed as part of it. Let me focus a little bit on the thing you're actually talking about. 6 kilovolts. I don't even know what all this stuff means. Jesus. 13 to 24 volts. 24 volts is a typical sort of industrial voltage, but yeah, AC, 15 amps, 500 volts, 642. Oh, so not, I don't know why it's AC 15, but it's 6 amps at 230, 4 amps at 400, and 2 amps at 500. UImp, I guess that's above 6 kilovolts. It's it probably arcs or something. But yeah, this is a double. It's a double module, but yet these are independent. Independent, normally closed and normally open switches with their own spring too, no less. There's something about failure modes on that one. But yeah, this is just for the thing to actuate. I guess this is probably what the e-stop primarily has, and then they decided to get the higher trim level, which includes another switch. They were using a lot of the switches in these things too, so I don't know, they're getting their cash out of this thing. These are all the same clip though, which is nice. A very cheap clip. Some of the ones that I've seen have been like metal and more crazy than this. Moving on. Nope, that's the wrong one. We want... oh, another double. We got another double. Give me a double. One thing I did not have out west was a Whataburger. Or no, an In-N-Out. Or a Whataburger. I didn't have either of those. We were on the Oregonian coast, so we actually got good crabs. I got crabs on my vacation, Chad. I don't know how to break it to you. Good crabs, good tuna. All kinds of good shit. This is good. Unpopular opinion. Those places aren't that great. What places? You mean the... oh, you mean In-N-Out and stuff? Yeah. Look, I'm on the fence about that. It's like the Canadians with their poutine. They seem to love Putin so much they made a French fry dish out of him. But poutine, from what I hear, is not all it's actually cracked up to be. No, we were actually in Tillamook, of all places. Tillamook. Which is hilarious because from Oregon coast to Tillamook, like cool little sleepy, you know, coast town, right? Not a lot of people there. All the buildings on the cliffs have like big picture windows. Yeah, everybody knows Tillamook from cheese and stuff. We didn't get cheese curds there. I didn't know where to get them. That would have been good to do. Yeah, cheese curds from Tillamook would have been a great idea. For those that don't know, because everybody, all these pretentious West Coast people are coming in here to say, oh, I love that, but why don't you eat this? Anyway, they're a bunch of fuckers. But yeah, you can only eat so many meals in a day, exactly. So from Oregon coast, you have like sleepy little fishing towns where you can go into like an industrial fish operation, and they got a front desk where somebody's like, oh my God, a person, hey, you want to buy some fresh, like this was a crab like a couple hours ago, and now it's a delicious steamed crab. And it's like, oh, cool, I'll buy a couple of those. So we did that, and then you drive 10 minutes into Tillamook, and they're like, this was a cow 5 minutes ago. Like, do you want a sandwich made out of it? And we're like, yes, we would like a sandwich made out of that. It was pretty awesome, to be honest. All right, we got to blast these things with compressed air. We got to blast all this crap with compressed air. Oh, yeah, no cell phone service either. My friends in high school is the grandson of the people who own Tillamook? What? You need to head southwest. That was cool. It was a cool place. All right, I'm going to turn on the compressor here. It may not be too loud for you guys. It's going to be kind of annoying for me, but we're going to blast these things out with some compressed air, and that'll dry everything out. Yeah, all I got left is like Marionberry preserves. As much as I would love to ship good meat out. Then again, out here, we got Amish markets. So I gotta start looking for more of those. I'll ask my buddy St. Wiggily where they are. All those good Amish markets. He used to work for a butcher. Brillin Shuker! Hey, Brillin Shuker, good to see you. Good to hear that name. How you doing, man? Subbing with Prime for 26 months. Thank you so much. Love those Primes. Waiting for this thing to shut off at 100 PSI. This is I keep my Hitachi between my legs, chat. This is the crotch of my pants, and this is my Hitachi. Am I allowed to show that on Twitch? Anyway. All right. This isn't, I don't know if I like this compressed air very much. It's OSHA compliant in terms of the amount of noise that it makes. I went and bought it. I think it's okay, but it needs a lot of air. It needs more air than the like airbrush Hitachi. Anywho. All right, let's do this a little bit. Oh my God, that's loud. That's all I'm gonna do. Just give it a little blast of air. And hopefully that dries out all of the water inside. Technically, I should be blasting it a little further out from the cone, because the cone is what's concentrating the air in one area, and the pressure of the air and the flow of it is what's going to dry out all the liquid. Smells a little funny. I don't think I've emptied the water in my compressor. You guys all get along in chat, all right? All right, I gotta wait for more air. We're waiting for air now. Waiting for air. Yeah, there's little drops of water all over these things. They're not too bad, though. They're actually a lot drier than they could be for having tiny little puddles of air in the... in the enclosure. Probably should go back to my other air sprayer. I don't know, this thing just drops the PSI so quickly. I don't know how many of these we're gonna need. Stick them in the oven for 90°C for 10 minutes. Here's the reason that I don't want to do that, Hadakanen. There's actually a very good reason that I don't want to do that. So if there's water inside of these things, and planting soil, unintentional planting soil inside of them. What I really don't want to have happen on the switch contacts is the switch contacts are physically two pieces of metal, alloyed metal, that are hitting up against one another, right? With the help of a spring. So will this compressor shut up and let me talk? Ah! So two pieces of metal hitting up against one another with a spring. If I put them in an oven and I allow all that liquid to dry out, there's potential that the liquid surface tensions itself on the pieces of metal that are making contact. And what that'll do is that'll concentrate all the stuff in the liquid onto the piece of metal. Water spots on a car when you don't dry it off properly, right? A friend of mine has an air sprayer that is literally just like a fan that he holds on to, and it's like a really nice fan. I should probably look into getting that. I think that would probably be a better thing. It's like a car thing. It's so you can dry off your car, all the little bits and bobs when you're detailing it. I think I should get one of those instead of the compressor. I think that might be a good investment for me, because this compressor can't keep up with this sprayer, and that little blow dry thing is really nice. But yeah, what I want to do is I want to actually displace the water and actually have it throw all of that garbage somewhere other than the switch contact. This is exactly what happened to my keyboard when I doused all of the switches in alcohol. I took all the switches apart to their component parts, put them all in alcohol. What I didn't know is that with these little Cherry MX switches, the Cherry switches, when you take all the mechanism out of them, the two contacts hit against one another. And so in doing so, I bathed them all in alcohol. The contacts were pressing one another, took them all out and dried them off in front of a fan. So my theory on what happened to my keyboard is that all of the alcohol pooled where the two pieces of metal were close to one another. All that dried up, brought with it all of the stuff, all the little bits of dirt that had been kept out of the switches previously. It brought it all into the switch contacts. And so when I booted up my computer and had not booted up my computer, what is this, 1985? When I plugged my keyboard into the computer, I went to type and certain keys wouldn't work, and I'd have to hit them over and over and over again to get the contacts slapping together. Yay! I got all the contacts like slapping together, right? Because I'm going, why don't you work? And they eventually worked again. It wasn't crunchy, it just didn't make any contact until I hit it a bunch. Oh man, DS4 Universe, 18-day late announce. Hell yeah, dude. DS4 Universe, thank you so much for the sub. That would be 32 months. Holy crap. Blast it with air. Dear God, that was a lot of air. I have to kind of like conserve the air so that I have enough for all these. But yeah, I still have problems. I've tried to say stuff in chat, and I've like, what did I say? Like something with an X in it, and my X key is now acting up. And I don't think it's the oil that I put on the springs. I don't think it's the oil that I put on the springs. I think it just has to do with just stuff getting in the way. So I'm wondering if it would let me announce this late. Yeah, what was the, what's the limit on that? Hey, I wasn't gone during, I came back. I thought of doing a Christmas Day stream, but I was so out of it from flying. Like, flying across country was nuts. Chat, I flew first class. I was wearing a top hat and a monocle. I had first class tickets. On one of the flights, it was ridiculous. Rich for my Twitch millions. I don't make any money off of Twitch, let me tell you that right now. I can fund these projects on Twitch, which is basically people giving me stuff for free. I don't make shit. You guys are amazing. Like, you guys supporting me and I don't know what kind of a noise floor you guys have in the background. I'm sure you can hear this compressor going off to totally ruin the entire vibe of what I'm saying to you right now. But your support allows me to do interesting and fun projects like this. A lot of the money that I make from Twitch goes directly back into these things, and you guys are great for that. my Christmas present, and it was mostly from my family, who has a shitload of extra miles, was flying me out to Oregon right before Omicron fucked up everything, right? I got back right before I thought I was gonna get the top hat emote. Chester Willard, otherwise known as damn it, I forget the other name now. Why do I forget that? I know your other name. Anyway, thank you for the 23 months. I really appreciate that. Yeah, the top hat, the money related emotes are tier 3. Screen's vibrating. It's on the same desk. It would make sense that it would shake everything. So, hey, thank you for the follow. Guililusha. Little Fluffy Clouds subbing for 12 months. Hi there, good to have you back. I hope you and chat are doing well. I'm doing great. It's not that It's not that I'm not back. I've been back for a week. I'm just back to doing projects. Just downstairs. This is why I didn't tell anybody. we went through an Oregonian mountain pass during a snowstorm. In like a little toaster looking Kia. It was pretty harrowing. I had a good time though. I had a good vacation. It was just kind of like a getaway right before we got destroyed by Omicron. Like all the flight cancellations, I got back just before that. So I could have streamed on Christmas, but I just was too out of it. I was too out of it. I'm back in it now though. The reason we're doing this is because the friend of mine who gifted me this wonderful industrial equipment that I'm working on right now left it out in the front garden for a little while for me to pick up, and I never did. I never picked this stuff up, and so it sat in the front garden and it got rained on all the way up until he delivered these and a couple cookies to my house, which is insane. I need to reciprocate and get him his plate back, and I think I got a Pantone to give him or something like that. But yeah, so here we are. I'm cleaning these out. These are left out in the rain, and so rain got into them. It really shouldn't have, considering the construction of these things. I guess these are more of indoor industrial electronics rather than outdoor. There really should not have been like water inside of these, but here we are, and I have to just blast them with a little bit of compressed air. Keep the plate. Oh, really? Donated to a passing car. You got it, man. Berwyn man arrested for assaulting a random vehicle. Yeah, all right. Well, I probably have some Marionberry preserves. Did you try that hot relish that I made? If you're still watching. He's like, how do I tell him that it was absolutely disgusting, like on a public forum? Haven't had eggs. All right. They are good on eggs. It is good on eggs. That's the hot relish I made from habaneros and poblanos that I grew in the garden. I got a couple little containers of that to ship to people too. I've been too lazy. I haven't done it. All right, so that'll do it for the switches. Now, I'm not 100% on how dry all that stuff is, but I'm pretty sure it should be all right. Pretty sure it should be all right. Can you guys take it to PMs, please? Jeez, I can't moderate that. Now, I don't know if we can get into these further. Let's see if we can open these switches up a little further. I see two little tabs that I might be able to push in. No, not really. Here, let's take a look at this under the microscope. The compressor will turn off in a minute. I'm not going to turn it off because I think I still need it. I'm probably still going to need it. No, we're not doing that. You guys can just sort it out. We're not like that here. All right, please, compressor. Compressor, please. Please. This is the soundtrack for me having spilled stuff on my keyboard. that compressor going. This is the only thing I have that dries stuff off completely. I really don't want to sacrifice one to the teardown gods, no. But it looks like I should be able to get the plunger out of here, and that might lead everything else to follow, you know? I might be able to move these out of the way, and then the rest of this kind of pops out. It kind of looks like it does that. Because we've got a little clear, and I like that this is translucent. It probably means that there's an illuminated version of these buttons. These are clean. These are nice buttons. I like these. The only thing that I would like more from them is for them to be able to illuminate. That'd be nice. Well, yeah, that is the button. It's literally just a spring and a plunger, and they complicate that in all kinds of different ways. I don't know. That might be the snap that holds this thing on, and I don't know if I can press that in enough to get it to release. Let's see. Let's see what I can do. It seems soft. I don't know. Seems like that's not the answer. Why is it? It's like rubbery. I think this might just be something to make it feel more expensive. I just feel like a little thing to make it kind of fit in better. It might just be like a rubber insert. I don't really want to. I guess it's gonna break, I guess. Oh, okay. So that rubber piece is part of this collar here, and it's just part of sealing it up. Yeah. Yeah, that's just part of the environmental seal. All right. So the other place that I could think would be back here. So I peel that away. It looks like these two ends are what holds it in. Yep. All right. So I get these two loose. What's up, Metric Fox? How you doing? Okay, so that would be the center insert, and it's part of what I think actuates some of the buttons, and it looks like you could definitely stash an LED behind that thing. I guess this would probably hold on to like a circuit board or something of that nature. Discount Goats! Thank you for following. So yeah, the thing is, like, when you put these things together, like these pieces of the switches won't get actuated by the whole thing. Like, it needs to, let me see here, hold on. So we get this thing on here, mounted. So if we have this without that plunger on there, it's not gonna hit the normally closed one, I don't think. Let's see if I'm wrong about that. I've been wrong maybe once or twice before. Why is that pushed in permanently? Wait a minute. See that one is pushed in permanently. It's like if it's like a tamper switch. Yeah, it's permanently pushed in. What is that? It shouldn't be. No, maybe it's this. Okay, so it might just be the design. Is there a slightly different design for some of these? Like a wider opening down here. Specifically for the emergency stop. Man, I got a lot of these now. No, there isn't. No specific design. Those are all the same size. So why is this, huh? Why indeed? Maybe it's supposed to be in the center. That's still actuating everything. How does that work? See, look, that whole thing is pressing both of them in. Oh wait, now it's only pressing one because okay. Yeah, so this is what I was trying to display earlier, is that it's only gonna hit the side switches and not the center one. Because when you put in a module that illuminates the switch, it's actually just one of these switch carriers that has like an LED sticking out of the front. So it'll be this piece, but it'll just have an LED, and then the contacts are for that LED. Oftentimes, there'll be like 120 volts with a giant resistor on it. Discount Goats thinks aliens. Yep, that's about, yep, you got it. You did it. You got it. So there would be a switch on either side and then an illuminator in the middle, and then you'd have this big old cavity right here that would be illuminated by the LED or whatever lamp. Some of them are just lamps. Let's get this out of here. Get this out of here. Ah! So can I further disassemble this thing? Basically what I'm concerned with is that the spring has some water kicking around it, and that'll damage it in time. So in order to get this loose, I think what I need to do is peel these back. Oh no, wait a minute. No. Push these back? Yeah. The two tabs on the sides, which introduces it to a place where it could very, very, very much potentially break. Please take it out of this chat. Stop it. Leave it alone. All right. I'm gonna pinch this a little bit, and it'll probably puke up all its guts once I do. There it goes. Puking up its guts. Well, not as easily as I thought. Looks like I'm gonna have to use like a pin tool or something. Luckily, I got all kinds of stuff. Get a little bit of this. Oh, the button fell off. Yeah, this is where you'd put the translucent button in there. Kind of wish they did. Look at that lens. Oh, that's really cool looking. So yeah, the industrial like button stuff. If I had just a like a translucent cover for this thing, which I'm sure, you know, because the modularity of these things is what I really wanted to show off. Wow, this thing is not really cooperating. There we go. Ugh. There we go. So there's the spring, the physical, I guess, actuator for the button. There's a cap on the front that makes it really boring. And then a cap for the back that allows it to hit the center. Just like that. So that is your button assembly. And it looks like the spring is dry. I don't see any liquid on it. So I guess I'm going to trust some of the others. We'll take apart maybe one of these and figure it out. But boop. Boop. And then boop. Boop. Ta-da. All right, anyway, so yeah, button pressing. We got our whole actuation thing right here. Press the button, it hits all the physical actuators for the buttons down below. Button assembly, what are you talking about? But these are the business end of the buttons here. These things that clamp into the little button carrier below it. It's cool though, because there's like a rubber seal on this that keeps out the environment, etc., etc. A lot of cool stuff in these industrial buttons. I like to go over this stuff. Some people haven't seen them before. Certain people have never seen them before, and they like to see the cool industrial electronics. But yeah, part of this is also cleaning these out so that I can use them. But yeah, it's weird how physical all this stuff is. I love this shit. Yeah, man. It's not a lot to dislike. All right, so how the hell do I get this thing back together? How do I get this thing back together properly? I don't know. It looks like maybe these are plastic welded together. If they're clipped, because I want to get that seal again, and I might not get it out of this button. Ow. It's for your sub box or a vehicle. It's for the sub box. Yeah. Does that like unscrew or anything? I don't think so. I think it's either clipped or welded in with that seal, just so that everything completely, you know, keeps the environment out. So I don't know how much of a chance I have of reseating that rubber onto here. Because I need to reseat the rubber, but that's going to fall down with everything. Maybe when it's pressed all the way in, that'll be in a reseating position, and I can get away with it. Hopefully without damaging it. There's a lot of damage. And then in addition to that, we got these to take a, let's take a look at one of these things, these emergency stop switches. Now keep in mind, my disassembly of this emergency stop switch makes it completely and utterly unacceptable to be used in an industrial environment. If I tamper with this, it is my fault if somebody dies on the machine, right? So, been working on HOTAS. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, your big red e-stop button reminds me of the hardwired seat eject button. Yeah, you could do that, and you can cover it with a little plexi cover. These are a little bit big for that. You can get smaller e-stops. I have a dual stick setup that we need to get back to. We were working on reverse engineering that years and years ago. We had a set of Russian foot pedals that we were trying to reverse engineer. We got most of the way there, and I think we were missing just like one little piece of information from them for the reverse engineering of it. I would like to get back to that at some point. How in the hell am I going to take this apart? I don't see anywhere that I'd be able to get into this. You press it and it unlocks like that, and then you twist it and it pops back. Looks pretty complicated. That's an interesting mechanism. There's like a, what does that do? If I push this in, no, nothing going on that. Unless that's part of disassembly. This is not made to be taken apart. That's the thing about this. Half an inch in diameter. There's a yeah, the e-stop on my milling machine is